Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you guys my everyday makeup routine. If I am on a mission and I am in it to win it, I can do this in about 15 minutes, I would say. 10 minutes if I have really good pump up music on and lots of coffee. So this is just a chill, kind of get ready with me as I normally would. Got the coffee. Mallory actually made me this beanie and I'm in love with it. So if you guys are excited for this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. All of the products I'm talking about can always be found down below in the description box. So if you want to see how I get this look, you're in the right place, just keep watching. Alright, so I've already washed my face. I usually go in with my Jouer Anti-Blemish Matte Primer, but this thing is like pretty much totally empty. There's actually a slit in the bottom of here that squirts on the wall every time I squeeze it out, so that's fun. So lately instead I've been using the Becca Backlight priming filter. This makes you super freaking glowy, so if you're not down for that, you probably wouldn't like this, but I like the consistency of it. It gives a little bit of stick to it, so it feels like it's actually doing something, but it just makes your skin look super glowy and healthy, and it smells like lemon. And since the foundation I'm gonna go in with is a little bit more on the matte side, this just gives a nice glow underneath. What is in my eyeball? What am I doing? Foundation. You guys are probably sick of hearing about this foundation, but I've just been in love with it lately. This is the Pure Cosmetics Bare Doll foundation. I have a whole Foundation Friday video on this product. I'm just totally in love with it. Full coverage. I don't have to set it with a powder. The shade is nice on me. Stays throughout the day. Doesn't get super oily on me at all. My favorite brush to apply it with is this e.l.f. brush. This is technically a powder brush, but I love using this e.l.f. brush for foundation. I'm gonna have the exact one linked down below along with everything else I'm talking about. Pure Cosmetics actually emailed me to give me a coupon code for you guys because a bunch of you have purchased this. If you buy this off of Pure Cosmetics website, you can get 20% off with the code Taylor. That code obviously doesn't work on Ulta, just on the Pure Cosmetics website. Where's my beanie going? Without the Becca Primer, this definitely looks more matte. So if you don't want the glow, you can just do a different primer. It smells so freaking good. And I don't think this foundation has broken me out any more than usual. If you're new here, I have a combination of skin. Just to give you guys a bit of an acne update, I am still planning on going on Accutane. I had to work out some stuff with my insurance and just timing with other things going on. I'm waiting until after I go to China, so I probably won't go on Accutane until around June, just because you have to do a ton of blood tests and it's just a big commitment and everything. Where'd you go? So the concealer that I use pretty much every single day of my life is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This one is actually almost totally out. This is in the shade Fair. I feel like I don't know if a brand is ever going to be able to top this concealer. Even when I reach for my Urban Decay Naked Concealer now, which I used to love, I still love, it's a good concealer, it's just not quite up to this level. So the brush I always use to blend it out is the Morphe G38 brush. And like I always say with Morphe, there are certain brushes I recommend, there are others I don't. Just like any brand, there are good products and not so good products. This is one of the few concealer brushes I've ever found that I feel like actually helps give me coverage and doesn't take any away when I'm blending it out. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of this on the center of my face. Just kind of feeling it. Ooh, I just sprayed the Victoria's Secret Love Me More, I think it's called. It smells so good. Getting whiffs. I think they actually might have discontinued that. I'm just gonna cover up some of the acne on my neck that has not been going away lately. I love how the more this foundation is on, it just kind of like melts into your skin and warms up to it. And it just doesn't look cakey or heavy at all, but you get really great coverage. Someone is vacuuming the hallway right now. Hope you guys can't hear that. So to set my under eyes, I always go in with my Stargazer powder. This is just a white pressed powder. It's literally white. It is not translucent. So I'd only recommend this if you have fair skin because it is going to add a bit of color under there. But if you struggle finding a powder that's actually light enough that will help brighten your under eyes, try this one out. This is like $5 on Amazon. I've gone through 5 billion of these. So with this foundation, I actually like how it looks better without a setting powder. On my skin with the setting powder, it kind of cakes up a little bit and it just lasts really well on its own, so there's no reason for a powder. And it does set down a bit, so it's easy to blend stuff on top of it. So I always give it a few minutes to set and go in for my brows. I have permanent brows. This is like one of my most frequently asked questions. I do have permanent brows. I have a whole video on it. I go to Carrie at Fine Line Studios, which is in San Diego. She's amazing. She did my brows. I love them. I still like to fill them in a little bit just because when I put on foundation sometimes it can kind of cover it up. But I love having them because when I'm not wearing a full face of makeup, my brows are totally on. So lately this brow combination is what I've been doing every single day. This is the what brand is this? This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. This is in the shade 4. This eyeball is having issues today. I could probably go a shade up in this, but I use this eyebrow gel to kind of add a little bit of darkness to it, and I can't see what I'm doing because this mirror is super far away. Basically just kind of outline the shape that I already have. I I usually leave the front kind of without product on it because I like the look of lighter in the front. If I'm trying to just get out the door, half the time I'll just put on this brow gel. This is the Ulta brow gel. Why did that sound weird? Yeah, brow gel. In the shade Deep. I've used this thing for years. I love this. Usually if I'm doing a full-on makeup look, I'll carve out my brows with concealer just to kind of clean it up a bit. But for my everyday kind of makeup, I just usually don't take the time to do that. But that usually gives my face a couple minutes to set, so we are good to start blending on top of it now. I forgot to say my under eye brush is also by e.l.f. My under eyes are weird. Some brushes and powders totally take away the coverage, so this one just doesn't. Places the powder really nicely. So contour slash bronzer and highlight are the things that I pretty much switch up every single day. I have my like 10 kind of go-to products. So I'm just using one that I've used for a while and that I really like. This is the Ulta Blush in Sun Glow. If you have more fair skin and you like that kind of reddish bronze look, this blush will do it for you, and I just use my Wet n Wild contour brush. It just gives warmth to my skin without looking super orange. And I always like to kind of stipple on my powder products first and then kind of blend, just so I'm not blending away any of the liquid foundation. I'm gonna put a tiny bit of this on my nose just to kind of warm up my face a little bit. Blush lately, I've pretty much been sticking to either the Physicians Formula Butter Blushes or my Almay Nude Mauve blush. So today I'm just going to use the Natural Glow shade. I use the Morphe Wi-Fi brush for this. It's from the Gold Collection, obviously. It's gold. This one is really nice and subtle, and it's hard to kind of go overboard with this blush in my opinion. This blush, as you can see, does have a bit of a glow to it. It kind of has like a gold glow. And I go in with a powder brush. This is just the E1, and just kind of blend that out. So highlight, this is one of my favorite highlight shades of life. This is the Essence eyeshadow in 01 Snowflake. If you don't have pale skin, you can use the shade Apricota, but these are eyeshadows that are awesome as highlighters. I mentioned this tons before, but it doesn't give you that gross glitter. It's just a really nice kind of glow. M510 brush. And most days when I'm just running out, I don't like a super intense highlight, so I'm just using kind of a light hand with this. 9 out of 10 times on an everyday basis, I just use whatever shade I used for my bronzer contour. I use that for my eyeshadow, so I'm going to go in with the Ulta blush again, and I'm going to take the E27 brush. Just put that literally straight into the crease. Most bronzers work totally fine as eyeshadows, and it's just one less thing that you need to think about and grab out of your drawer. Sometimes I don't put anything on my eyes. I'll just go in with mascara and skip eyeshadow altogether. And on an everyday basis, I haven't been using eyeshadow primer because I put my concealer onto my eyelids. So if you don't do that, a primer might be a good option, but for me, mine stays on totally fine using the Tarte Shape Tape. So then for the lid color, I either won't put on anything or I'll just use my finger and go in with whatever shade I used as a highlight. I mostly just do this so I don't get any kind of creasing from the concealer and my mascara doesn't transfer anything. If you have issues with your mascara transferring to your lids or your like brow bone, make sure you have it set with some kind of powder. It's not going to transfer as much onto powder as it is onto like a sticky kind of liquid consistency. Sometimes I'll bring this onto the inner corner too. Those combined take about 30 seconds and just make you look way more put together than you actually are. So I set my face with setting spray every single day. I just can't go without it. I love setting spray. I have a bunch of different favorites, but right now I'm using the Catrice Prime and Fine Long Lasting Setting Spray. I like this one. I feel like it doesn't alter the finish of my foundation a whole lot. Let's attempt not to take a shower in this. If you're someone who does set your face with the powder after your foundation, this can help to just kind of smooth everything out and get rid of that texture and cakiness a bit. Kind of just settles the liquid and the powder together. My holy grail mascaras, I feel like I have to hiccup, are the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara and Wet n Wild Mega Length for the bottom lashes. I think I've literally used this for a couple years now. Mascara is one of those things that people have such different opinions on, so I think you just have to find one that works for you and your lashes. I don't know if this is just me, but I feel like if I wear lash glue the day before, my eyelashes aren't as nice the next morning. So I feel like we're not going to have a good mascara day, but we're going in. Whoop, already got it on my lid. Real life. So if you get your mascara on your lid, just wait for it to totally dry down, and then you can go in and rub it off and it won't smudge or anything. Look at that difference. No mascara versus mascara. Crazy. So for the past, I would say like 6 months, I haven't been wearing a whole lot of eyeliner. I really like having a totally put together face and then going more natural on the eyes. I think it just kind of balances itself out for everyday makeup, especially in Seattle. If you have a full face of makeup on in Seattle, people look at you like you're from another planet. It's like they've never seen lipstick or eyeshadow before, but you do you, you know? If you want your eyes to look a little bit bigger, make sure you get those outside lashes right here. So let's go in for the bottom lashes, Wet n Wild Mega Length. It has a super fine like comb wand on here, so it's just really great for getting on your lower lashes. Doesn't transfer down to the bottom. I'm pretty sure I get the waterproof version. I switch between them, but I think this one's waterproof. Lately, personally, I've been really into the super, super nude, almost dead kind of nude lipsticks. So I have two that I've been reaching between. This is the Sephora liquid lipstick in the shade 32. I don't think I've talked about this on YouTube yet, but I mentioned this a ton on Snapchat. This shade is perfection if you are fair and you want a super, super nude liquid lipstick. I also really like the Wet n Wild Mega Lash liquid catsuit in the shade Nudie Patootie. This one is a little bit more taupe. What am I feeling today? Let's go in with the Sephora one today. I always get questions about how I put on liquid lipstick with my lip ring, so here we go. We're doing it in this video. With the outer parts, I kind of do one swift motion, which is how I get clean line. So make sure you have enough product on your wand. So with my lip ring, I let this dry a bit so that when I push over the lip ring, it doesn't get liquid lipstick all over it. Then all I do is literally push it over, use the very tip of whatever wand I'm using, and just fill it in. And that's it. That's all I do. Magic. This is probably too nude for some people, but this is just what I've been into and what I've been doing. So I hope you guys liked this video and you found it helpful. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, you could join the Babydo family and subscribe. I upload Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, Foundation Friday on Friday. If you're following me on Snapchat, you've probably seen me talk about some of these products already. So if you are not, you can follow along here. I also post on Facebook. I tweet a lot. So here are all my social handles. We can be friends and it'll be fun. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.